Bully Girl podcast episode number 17. It's Lily with you today with a very special guest, Sarah from Diamond Legacy Bullies. Sarah, say hi to everybody.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, thank you for being with us today. But
Uh,
before we jump into it, please make sure to download the Bully Girl app to have access to more episodes and Bully Breed content. Sarah, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great. Thank you for finding time for us. And who is it with you today?
This is one of my puppies that we have off of my girl Indy. So
Yeah.
he's my keeper male. So
Oh, that's cute. And how long do you have it?
they're 8 weeks right now. The market's a little low right now, and we're very picky with who our puppies go to. So we still have quite a few, but yeah.
Hmm. Okay, I see. Okay, let's start from the very beginning. What's the reason behind your passion for dogs?
You know what? I had a dog for 13 years, and he passed away, and it was an American bulldog. And I just loved just dogs in general. And I was just heartbroken, and I wanted to start over. And I was like, you know what? I want a gray dog with blue eyes, like a pit bull. And so I was
Okay.
starting to do some research, and, we have kids and stuff, and pit bulls are great. But then we just came across the breed of the XL American bullies, and we went to go see a few, and I just fell in love with the temperament, just the structure, just everything that goes hand in hand with it. And that was when I got my boy Diesel, and I just fell in love with the whole breed and just everything about it, and just started doing more research and just getting more involved with the community, and
Yeah.
um, just yeah. So it's been it's been amazing. I love the dogs, the temperament, the structure. So
And
yeah.
so since when? How many years are you in this field?
It's been almost 3 years now.
Hmm.
Yeah, almost 3 years.
Okay, Sarah. So do you test your breeding dogs for genetic health conditions?
Yes. So we do the OFA testing, and then we do the genetic or what's it called? The health testing online. The color panels and stuff like that as well. So yeah.
Okay, I see. And what do you do to socialize your puppies and how do you prepare them for their new homes?
We cuddle with them and love them like our own. We do structured playtime with them. I also like to incorporate mom, since I have her on the premises to be able to play with them and just kind of teach them. So we allow playtime with them, and so that she can just kind of roughen them up and just teach them. And so we do about playtime about 2 to 3 times a day, and just kind of get them socialized so that when they do have their families, they're not scared or skittish. So
So is it only you or you have support from your family?
it's me and my two boys, my kids, that help me the most. So I do have a team with co-owns, but they're not on my premises of our facility. So mostly it's just me and my two boys. So,
Okay, yeah, that's a big dedication, I guess. And
yes.
what is your favorite bloodline, Sarah?
I love Bossy Bloodline. I love where I got my girl Indy from. So Victoria's Secret, going back to Victoria's Secret, Bossy Lucci. Um, I just love the structure, just the whole. I mean, Kat, she's an amazing person, and she really strives to do better, with the whole bully breed. So I really look up to her as far as like following her footsteps with that. So to make it just a very good community. I mean, there's a lot of competition and a lot of people that just it's not good. But yeah.
Okay, I see. Yeah, there are, I know there are many misconceptions related to this bully breed. And
Yes.
what do you think? How do you address them and how they can be addressed?
You mean like what I would do different or
First of all, what are the misconceptions that you are aware of, and how do you suggest to handle them?
um well with the community or with like just the outside world looking in on the bully world?
I think what?
Okay. So I think the outside world looking in, people definitely characterize them as like pit bulls and mean, looking dogs. I mean, I would walk my dogs and some people would, take their dog and just go the other way or just kind of avoid us. When in reality, my dog would probably go and, want to play with that dog. It's the other dog that wants to nip, so it just depends. But a lot of people like, oh, those are big pit bulls, because I have my clients come to my house and I just kind of educate them and show them and just their demeanor and just how they act and their temperament. And it kind of gives, a good, I don't know, it just shows that it's a good, they're good dogs. And for the bully world, I just think that a lot of people, it's just, they think that it's for the money. And they think that, I mean, I've seen lots of dogs in just poor conditions, not being treated right. And I don't like that. I don't like dogs in cages and just taken out just for breedings and stuff like that. So I think that that needs to change, as far as, and just community over competition. There's so much competition and people just like to talk, and downgrade on a dog. All dogs have different flaws. So it's not like there is a perfect dog out there. So
Yeah, I see. So competition and kind of arrogance is what concerns you most.
yes.
And what is your solution? How it can be changed?
I just think that everyone should just stay in their own lane, worry about what they have on their yard, and just get off of social media and not talk about other people. Go and see the dogs, in person so that you don't, so you have clear expectations of what you're working with, because there's all kind, pictures and videos, always don't do justice or editing and stuff. But as far as changing that, I just think that we should all come together and support each other. The people that I know in the bully world so far, that I've kind of clinged to are very supportive, which is kind of what I need in my life. So that's who I kind of gravitate towards. So
Yeah, that's amazing. I think to have the right community and the right type of support behind
right.
your back. And do you have a special diet for your dogs throughout the year?
Yeah, so for my dogs, we feed Victor High Pro Plus. I've used that from the beginning, so I don't know anything different. And then I'd meal prep for them, so I'd either make like rice or quinoa with veggies and like either ground turkey, or um, just different toppers that I like to do for them, so that they have kind of like a balanced diet, some veggies and fruits in there too. So
That's amazing. So you kind of have your own recipe also.
yeah, my friends and my family say that my dogs eat better than us. So yeah, I'm like cooking dinner for the dogs, and they're like, "Oh, that's dinner." No, it's for the dogs. So yeah.
And how much time in a day do you spend on your dogs overall?
So the dogs that I have on my property, like my studs and my females, they're all together. So they're our house dogs. So they're with us all the time. They just lounge and are with us, whatever we do. The puppies, we try to socialize them about 3 times a day, each feeding and just kind of do some playtime. So, but our big dogs are with us all the time. So they're always just kind of around and just on their own terms. So,
You mentioned that you socialize them in your own way by cuddling and also by having the playtime. And I'm curious, do you have any specific kind of routine for keeping them in shape?
for the puppies, we don't exercise them that much. We'll just like play with them and just let them run around the yard in their play yard. But for the big dogs, we do, well, since it's summer, we try to do it early morning and then the evening, but we'll work them out in the front yard and just kind of play and, fetch and stuff like that. But I try not to run them too much, especially in summer, just because of the heat and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll go on walks and stuff like that. Or if I go to, stores, I'll take my male Diesel with me and stuff. So we try to socialize them as much as possible and exercise them. But yeah.
Yeah, I believe that that's almost like a full-time job and takes a lot of time and dedication, which you.
Absolutely. I'm just thankful that all my dogs get along, just because it just makes it a lot easier. So if I
Okay.
had to put in cages and have to take timeouts for each one. I think that would be even more time consuming, but so far, everyone gets along well. So it makes it a lot easier for me as far as timing and that aspect of it. So
Yeah, and I believe that that's also part of the work, like to have the kind of right energy and right flow within your family, your puppies, and even,
yes.
yeah, your own dogs. So, okay, walk us through the process from start to finish of purchasing a puppy from your kennel center.
Yeah, so typically they can reach out via Instagram or Facebook. I like to do video calls or FaceTime just to kind of get to know the person. It's kind of like they are giving me an interview, but I'm giving them an interview as well. Um, I don't want a puppy to go to somebody that works, 12, 15-hour days and the dog's going to be in a kennel all day. That's very important to me. So far, all my dogs have went to great homes and great family homes. I haven't had too many breeding aspects as far as like breeders, reach out to me. And which is good. I mean, I would go either way, but yeah, they inquire through my website or via, Instagram or Facebook. We'd FaceTime, let them, ask them what puppy they're interested in, and just kind of get a little bit of feedback of what their background is and their family and kind of just where they're at, because it's a lot of work to have a puppy. So again, I'm giving them an interview as much as they're giving me one and making sure that they're the right fit, which does get kind of lengthy and time consuming because we do turn people away just because of, like they just like a kid. Like some people can't have a bunch of kids because they're just so busy, and just in childcare, things like that. So, but they would inquire and then they would place a deposit. And then when the puppy's ready to go home, we'd either have our flight nanny or we'd meet up with them so that they can get their puppy. So we have a transport company that we use, that we trust, because it's kind of sketchy out there in that aspect as well. So, and then
Yeah.
After that, I love to stay in touch, and I'll always like repost, people's, like, I don't know, they're like my babies. I call them my grandbabies. So they're
Yeah,
my
I
babies.
see.
Yeah.
And so you basically keep in touch with the families who
I
buy.
try to. Yeah, I mean, everyone that I've had so far with my two past litters, I've only had two litters, so it's not like I've had millions of them. But so far, everyone has kept up with me and just kind of giving me updates and stuff like that, which means a lot to me because, like I said, they're part of our family too. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And do you offer any health guarantees or support for your puppies after they go to their new homes?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a 1 year health guarantee, just in case anything happens or if a puppy needs to be replaced or anything like that. Um, and even after that, like if something did happen, and if I have another available puppy, I feel like communication's key. So if something did happen and it was kind of a genetic thing, then I would try to make it to fit their needs. I wouldn't just put them on the back burner. I haven't had to do anything like that before, but yes, we do offer a health guarantee. Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing. And as you mentioned, you are relatively new, but
Yeah.
have you had any returns, or do you have like specific way of handling returns or rehoming process?
Actually, I did have one. I had a guy fly out from Texas. He was a young kid that wanted one of my dogs, and then he had it for about 2 weeks and decided he didn't want her anymore. So, and he wanted to fly her. It was just a little bit hectic, but it worked out. We rehomed her to somebody local near me that really, really wanted her, and now she's living her best life. So it worked out, but that was kind of frustrating just because he wanted to send, via some random person the dog back to me. And I just felt like the dog wasn't being taken care of. So I needed to get the dog out of that situation quick. And we did. It was resolved, but it was pretty stressful.
I see. And is it important for you now? Where are the homes of the families? Like, is it close?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's very important to me. And that's why I like to FaceTime and just, not just go blindsided for both parties, to not know who's who and all that. I like communication and just I feel like that's really important to kind of be on the same level and expectations as far as these puppies. I can't fix and change everything and what people say. I just have to trust it. But I think we have a pretty good start by building a foundation with them and just kind of getting to know them and, uh, just kind of getting that personalization with them. So,
Yeah, finding a better match for each of the puppies. I think, yeah, that's a great approach. And do you currently show any of your dogs or do you prepare them for any shows?
yeah, so we prepared my first ever dog, XL Bully. We showed him, and he is now a champion. So now we took a little bit of a break just because I have puppies and stuff like that, and a lot of like just life things came up. So, but I would love to get him back in the ring to try to get a grand champion. And maybe travel, outside of our area to do so. I also have a few co-owns that they're going to start showing their dogs. They're only 11 months now, but they're going to start showing a few in the ring. So that's going to be very exciting.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. I think you already have champions, so good luck with
Yeah.
the rest of the
Yes.
shows.
Thank you.
And what advice do you have, Sarah, for any upcoming breeders?
Any advice is make sure that you're not in it for just the money. Make sure that you're in it because there's a lot of money that goes in and out of it. Um, More money than anything, reinvesting your time and your energy. It's not just a quick, I think people think that there's, these dogs aren't cheap. So they think that it's just an easy income, and it's not. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Things happening. Just you have to be available to your dogs. I think making sure to get a good foundation and seeing where you're getting your dogs from, if you can possibly, fly in or fly out to go see a stud or a female that you're interested in. I think that's very important, and just kind of staying in your own lane. There's going to be there's a whole bunch of different ways to do things in the dog world and anything. So I think just staying in your own lane and getting a good mentor or two is your best bet, and just kind of sticking to the people that just are positive. So I think that goes in life too, but yeah.
And speaking of the positive and the mentors, do you have a inspiring figure in the bully game that you would like to mention?
I have a few actually. So, like I mentioned before, Bossy Kennel's cat. We became really close. She's a great person. She does. I mean, she's a boss babe. She created Bossy Kennels by herself. So, just seeing that aspect of a woman being in the dog world, I think that speaks a lot of volume. I do gravitate towards a lot of the women in the bully world, like Natalia from Bullies. I have, oh gosh, there's a few to mention. Monster Bully Kennels, Block Knots, where I got my girl Indy. Everyone that I've kind of met so far has been just very helpful and some good guidance and stuff. But you kind of know who's has good intention and who doesn't once you kind of start to talk to somebody. But those are just to name a few. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for sharing the names. And what do you think? What is the most difficult thing in the bully game right now to overcome?
I think right now the market is oversaturated. I think that people are just breeding dogs just because, and they're not either tested or they're just, um, it's just hard. It's just oversaturated right now. So uh, I think and not to mention the economy is very low right now. So it's just kind of hard just to gravitate everything right now. So.
Yeah. So I see that there are many factors involved in it, but how do you think they can overcome this?
Overcoming it, I think by not breeding, not every dog, not every puppy, is a breed type, so I think that you should be picky with who, what you want to build in your, you know, what your program is, what you want for the future. So just breeding any and anything walking to me doesn't make sense. There are some dogs that are not breed type. There are some dogs that shouldn't be bred every single time, and I think that will help kind of, and not selling, eat every dog, every puppy to a breed, to be able to breed, with rights. Some should be pet homed. And with that, I think that will help kind of help the community, with to gravitate to move forward.
Yeah, basically to form some ground and have some values, not just the market. Yeah, it's
Absolutely. Yeah. Values and just, just breed with intention, I think is the biggest thing, which I don't think is happening. So, I mean, even on my yard, like I have 11 puppies and not all of them to me, are breed type, as far as, so I will pet home those. I feel like that's important as a breeder to look out for, so that you're not just creating just next generations. We're trying to better the breed. So, and of course, not every dog is breed type. Not every. That's just how it is. So, yeah.
yeah. So kind of identifying the differences is the care and sign of love. And your puppy right now, I mean, during this whole conversation, is so comfortable, like cuddly over there and very calm.
He's adorable.
Okay. Yeah, it is adorable. What is one of the main goals for you in 2023?
My main goal is to get these puppies good homes. I just started my Frenchie line, so I have another Frenchie that I'm going to be taking to a full fluffy. So I'm just going to be expanding my whole Frenchie line and just kind of building out there. And 2023 is just adding on to our facility. I want to build a bigger area for the Frenchies and our XL bullies. So more of a bigger area for our whelping area. So
Yeah, that's amazing. And how many, ideally, how many dogs would you like to have in the kennel?
well, so my whole concept is I have my 3 big dogs here, and then I have 2 Frenchies, the females. So I can't ideally keep any more dogs on my property without me having to separate them and stuff. So what I like to do is do our co-own opportunity. So right now I have 4. So the dog would go to the home, they'd love it as their own, but when it's time to do breeding or anything like that, then that's when we will do that. I could probably have one more dog on my property just to be safe, but I don't like a lot because I like them to be able to socialize and just play and just kind of live freely and not just in a cage all the time. So, but I am looking to expand the Diamond Legacy Bullies by having co-owns and things like that. So that's how I will grow, and be able to have access to the dogs that I want with them still living their best life. So that's kind of my concept of it.
Yeah, that's a beautiful concept, actually, kind of growing, but at the same time giving
Yeah,
them the luxury to have their own space.
right.
And what separates your kennel from the competition, Sarah?
Well, I feel like there's a few that are kind of, I feel like me, just very wants the best for the dogs. I feel like I have a passion for the dogs, and without a passion and the love for the dogs, I think that without that, you're not going to go far. So I think with me having the passion and what my future holds as far as what I want to, do for the community and what I want to be able to produce, I think I have a benefit of doing that because I'm involved with them and I want the best for my kennel in the future. But there's a lot that are good, but there's a lot that aren't good as well. And I think that's just the whole aspect of thinking about money. Money's great, right? But to me, it's also making sure that I'm building a legacy of what I want, and yeah, to better the whole breed as a whole. So.
I see your point, Sarah. And what other hobbies or interests do you have apart from the dogs?
Well, I'm a boudoir photographer, so that it takes a lot of my time. So I do, kind of run both the businesses. And so I love photography in itself. I love going on vacations and trips when we can. When we have puppies, we're kind of limited, but I like to watch my kids play their sports and just do a lot of family things. So that's really important to me, is making sure that we do our family trips, and we'll take our dogs on our trips as well. But sometimes we have to take them in groups just because they're big. So.
Okay. I see. Is there anything you would like to see added on the Bully Girl magazine or the podcast?
Um, I don't know. I think you guys are doing an amazing job, actually. I was introduced to it when I caught wind of you guys, and I just think it's all around great. So I don't see maybe future, like featuring some studs or like puppies or stuff like that. But I know maybe the podcast. I'm not sure about the a magazine just because it has to be processed and stuff. But I think overall, you guys are doing a wonderful job. So.
Yeah, thank you very much for your support. And Sarah, is there anything you would like to add before we end our conversation?
Uh, I just think no, we have puppies available now. So, we're taking applications for puppy adoptions and stuff. So if anybody's interested, they can reach out to us. But other than that, I just think people just need to make sure that they just community over competition. I think is huge. And just kind of staying in your own lane and doing the best you can and taking care of the dogs. I see a lot of people not doing that. And that really, really irks me because, they're giving us so much. So I feel like we should be giving back to them. So I've been
Yeah,
seeing that a lot lately with a lot of like neglect cases or, a lot of, not a lot, but a good amount, probably 3 this year. And so I don't like that. So I just hope everyone just kind of, can take on what they can handle and not, just build themselves a hole
yeah.
and see because it can happen. It can happen. So,
It's a very nurturing and caring approach, I believe, and will do the best for the dogs and
right,
for the breeders. So, yeah.
absolutely. So,
Thank you so much, Sarah, for being with us today. And
mhm.
I guess that's going to be it for this episode number 17. It was Sarah with us from California, from Diamond Legacy Bullies. And yes,
Thank you for having me.
thank you for being with us.
Yeah.
And I will see you in the next episode.
Okay. All right. Thank you.